Something is wrong. We must restructure. Let us come together and think, how do we get out of this mess?
Okay.
How do we secure our nation? How do we provide for our people? How do we improve our education so that people are enlightened? Sorry, Alero. The issue now that you haven't even seen is what's going to happen in 2019. When you have an illiterate group who do not know any other thing to do than you come and vote only on religious and tribal grounds. Are you? When are we going to have a nation that is going to deliver, or a government that's going to deliver the goodies for the people? The government is to deliver the goodies for the people, is to secure the people, is to make sure that everything we have, we put into good use.
Okay, Shukwa. Lately, even governors have joined their voices to the fact that they want to be able to control the resources in their area. What does that say?
I think it's just an expression of discontent with the system that they are part of. You know, it's like an implosion. It's like a pregnancy threatening the mother. They are part of the system and they are discontented with the system. But because they are part of it, they can only engage in some verbal renunciation, verbal commentary, but they are not doing anything to achieve what they think is right. Why?
What can they do?
What they can do is so much. For instance, within a state, the current constitution of Nigeria permits some level of flexibility. The government of a state, within the limited items on the residual list, that is those that are not on the exclusive and the residual on the concurrent list, they can still do so much. For instance, within their state, there are local governments. How are they themselves treating the local governments within their states? They treat them like empires, like just a slave enclave. All the local government. I was in several local government headquarters. Go to those secretariats now, you will see them overgrown with weeds. You see the paint gone, the place deserted. They are only active towards the month end. When money is available, everywhere in the country, that is what is happening. And so state governors that are now saying they want more autonomy. The one you had, what have you done with it? Because they themselves, they are benefiting from it. They prefer to hold their state in the jugular, centralizing power, economy, finance, everything in the state governor, in the state government at the state capital. It's the same thing we are talking about.
So the restructuring should start from the lowest.
It is not something. It's not something that can start from lowest, or it's a constitutional matter. The federal government will tell you that the constitution says power belongs to me. That is electricity. Therefore, if Lagos State imported a badge and put it in the marina to give power to Lagos, he said, no, you have imported because you have a right to buy anything you like. Now you have brought it, but you cannot switch it on. Because the constitution says I am in charge of electricity in the country. Until that constitution is amended, I continue to be in charge of electricity. So the only thing you can do is to switch on your power and feed it to my national grid. And when I hear national grid, I see corruption. I hear national corruption. That's what I see, what I hear. So the thing is, that constitution has to be tinkered with. And there is no constitution in the whole world that proclaims itself everlasting constitution. It's not possible. Every constitution must bow down to the dynamics of society. Generations are changing, for Christ's sake. Every 10 years, a generation comes up. That's why the issue, even the issue of leadership. When you replace a 50-year-old man with a 70-year-old man, the country has retrogressed.
So
seriously.
Who would amend that constitution?
You understand? It is the Nigerian people that can amend. The constitution said it can be amended by a procedure. National Assembly, all states, House of Assemblies, and so on. Those are the fine provisions of the constitution.
We've been amending constitution in this country every year.
I'm telling you, that most of those amendments are just cosmetic. They are just nibbling. Because some of them believe, there was the last amendment that was done, it was said that, look, don't let us amend everything at a go. Because the benefits that they derive from the amendment process, let them face it. Let's do some now, so that we derive benefit from it. The next one, you remember the last conference that was held, how many millions go to each participant? So if they finish all the amendment at a go, what will happen? So people are looking at it from their selfish, personal perspective. You understand?
We're back to the mind thing.
Yeah, yes. So it's a mind thing. You mentioned it. It's a mind thing, but this mind will continue to be conditioned by the situation people find themselves. Those in power benefiting from it, they have their own mindset. Those who are at the receiving end, the people, they also have their own mindset. So if this thing goes on, the elasticity will break. It will snap one day. So what Constitution provides for amendment procedure, that is if you do it the constitutional way. There's another way
to do it.
Another way that does not follow any procedure.
Which way?
You understand?
Which is also
I will
legal.
demonstrate it to you.
Okay.
For instance, you have a building, high rise, between other high rises. This one is defective. It poses a threat to the one on the right, on the left. So if you allow the thing to come down by itself, so more damage will be done everywhere. But if you don't want that, you then follow a procedure of regulated dismantling. You now bring it down. You manage it to come down, and it won't affect the one on the right or on the left. That is it. The procedure of the Constitution is to enable the restructuring to be managed. But if they fail to take advantage, then the house will come down by itself.
Okay.
And affect
to nobody's advantage.
Mr. Shomi, just before we need to take a quick commercial break, but before we do that, this part of the national conference, that one of the resolutions reached, was about states merging. I mean, states are supposed to be self-sufficient. And it said states that wish to merge can do so by reason of 2/3 of their houses of assemblies agreeing, and then they can go ahead and merge. So that state becomes state A, state B becomes state BA or state AB. But to have this, we'll still come back to that question of the mind thing. How do we restructure?
Okay.
Or how can we do controlled dismantling?
Yes.
Not dismantling, no controlled restructuring.
Okay, controlled restructuring.
They are scared of dismantling.
Yes. Whether my brother Shukwo calls it controlled restructuring or a planned renegotiation of the basis of our collective existence, in a way that would deliver the yearnings and aspirations of our people. What we all seems to be concerned is to allow the country to fall into a default mode of deconstruction. What do I mean by default mode of deconstruction? We already have challenges, to the unity of the country. Some people are already calling for secession, different groups in Southeast, in South-South, and we need to address, their concerns. And the only way to do this is to actually say, look, what are your issues? Can we really meet your needs within, the Constitution of Nigeria? What I think is almost impossible is if we are to take the national conference, which some of my colleagues have referred to, of 2014, the issue of unicameral legislature cannot be delivered by the National Assembly. The reason is this. Would the Senate scrap House of Reps, or the House of Reps will scrap the Senate?
Good question. Also hold it there.
So how do we deliver the structure?
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So now
we'll be back. I'll be back to answer that question. Who will bear the cut? Please don't go away.